We open in a small coastal town back in 2017, and our first character, this very judgmental-looking cat. From its perch on a rooftop, our cat overlord is on patrol. Just beneath it is a quiet, blue-haired boy walking all by himself. That guy's weird, someone says. A pair of guys are watching him. What's his deal? The kid with the bowl cut explains he's the new transfer student, and the weird part, he never ever talks. He takes a swig of his coffee, getting serious. But it's more than that. It's not just that he's quiet, it's like he's deeply silent. Yeah, I have no idea what that means either, my friend. The other one is just as confused as we are, asking what he means by that. But before he can explain, a white car comes barreling down the narrow street, and the blue-haired kid, without even looking, steps directly into its path. The driver freaks out, slamming the brakes with a deafening screech. The car stops just inches from him. The driver is absolutely losing his mind. What is wrong with you? Hey, you punk, you think you have extra lives or something? Why did you jump out in front of me? But despite the man's rage, the boy just slowly turns his head, his expression completely blank. He does not care at all. The guys in the alley are baffled. What is he doing? Wait, look at his leg. And there it is. The same fluffy cat from before is rubbing against his leg, purring its little heart out. Dude was just trying to save the cat. The angry driver grabs the kid by his collar, accusing him of trying to pull some kind of insurance scam. The onlookers can't believe it. Wow, even in this situation he won't say a single word. One of them tries to call the cat over. See? I told you, the bowl-cut kid says grimly. It's like he has some disease where if he talks he'll die. He just stays silent, no matter what. Just then, a girl with gray hair runs onto the scene, shouting, "Mister, wait a minute, what's going on?" She rushes over to the blue-haired boy. "Jijan, are you okay? What happened?" The driver, still gripping Jijan's tie, tries to explain that the kid just walked right in front of his car. The girl looks at Jijan worriedly. She then turns to the driver and bows deeply. "First of all, we are so sorry, can't you please let it go just this once?" She puts on her best puppy dog eyes and begs, "Please, just this one time, mister. Jijan isn't that kind of person. And what do you know? It works." The driver calms down and tells them to just be more careful. The guys in the alley are seriously impressed. Wow, Yena just stepped in and solved the whole thing. She's the queen of class 5. The kid holding the cat asks it, "Right, kitty?" Big mistake. The cat goes completely feral. With a furious hiss, it launches itself in his face. After mauling the poor guy, the cat just lands gracefully and trots off like nothing happened. At that exact moment, a gorgeous girl with long dark hair walks by. The kid who just got his face rearranged perks right up, a bloody mess, and waves. "Arum, hi." Even with his face looking like shredded cheese, he puts on a huge grin. "Good morning, and Arum?" She completely ignores him, walking right past without a single glance. Ice cold. His friend points out her cold shoulder, but the injured kid is totally smitten. Isn't it attractive though? If class 5 has Yena, our class has Ariam. Attractive my foot, it feels like she's just straight up ignoring you, but he insists, no, it's because she's shy. His friend raises an eyebrow. Huh? So she doesn't talk either? Wait, so she's just like that other guy? The injured student explodes. Don't compare her to some random dude. She's totally different. You take that back. And so the students head to school, each one lost in their own little world. Inside the loud, chaotic classroom, Jijan sits at his desk, perfectly still. He closes his eyes, trying to block out all the noise and chatter around him. Suddenly, his eyes snap open to a sound. Yena and her friend are at his desk. Meditation time again today, huh? Oh, this one looks like a professional photo shoot. It's been a whole month since you transferred and you do this same meditation routine every single day. She shows him a picture she took on her phone. I snapped this to commemorate it. What do you think? If you don't like it, you can just delete it. She reassures him. Don't feel like you have to say yes just because I helped you out earlier. He seems to give a silent nod of approval and she beams. Thank you, Jijan. Suddenly, the classroom door slams open with a loud bang. A tall, intimidating student strides into the room. This is CEO Taksu, the class bully. You know the type. The whole room goes dead silent as every single student turns to look at him. Taksu scans the room with a smug look on his face, like he owns the place. He overhears the girls talking and giggling about the photo. Suddenly, he places a heavy hand on Jijan's shoulder, smiling menacingly. The vibe here looks pretty good. He smirks. Jijan, why are you always surrounded by girls? You even kinda look like one. Taksu grabs Jijan's wrist, holding his arm up. Dude, look at your wrist. It's a total girl's hand, he exclaims, rubbing Jijan's hand on his own cheek. It's so smooth, I might just fall for you. Jijan's expression hardens just a little, his eyes narrowing. He's not amused. Yena looks over, clearly annoyed. Stop it, will you? It's not funny. Taksu completely ignores her, patting Jijan's head like a puppy. It's because he's so cute. He's just adorable. He then turns his attention back to Yena. By the way, I told you to come to the karaoke room yesterday. Why didn't you show? She looks away, rolling her eyes. I told you I was tired and going to bed early. Can't you understand that? Taksu's face darkens. No, you should have come, because your boyfriend called for you. I was waiting a long time. He warns her not to skip out on him today. She just gives a vague "I'll see" while staring at her phone. One of his lackeys immediately brings over a second chair for him. Total follower. Taksu kicks his feet up on a desk, leaning back like he's the king of the world. After class, we transition to PE where the students are playing outside. After the game, Jijan is sitting alone on the steps, looking exhausted. Yena comes over, fanning herself. Man, it's so hot. She takes a seat right next to him and asks, "Aren't you hot?" She then aims her little portable fan right at Jijan's back. "Here, should I do this for you?" She smiles, enjoying the breeze. Feels so refreshing, right? Jijan just gives her a quick sideways glance, staying completely silent. Yena just laughs, clearly amused by his quiet personality. Meanwhile, a few feet away, the guys are in a heated game of soccer. A player yells for the ball and his teammate shouts back, "Leave it to me." He winds up and kicks the ball with everything he's got, sending it rocketing across the court. Unfortunately, his aim is terrible, and the ball goes flying straight towards an unsuspecting Taksu. It smacks him square in the side of the head with a loud whack. The kid who kicked it is instantly terrified. "Taksu, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to pass it." Taksu just smirks, brushing his hair back into place. "Ah, shoot, my hair got all messed up." Then, to everyone's shock, he just laughs it off and claps his hands. "Don't worry about it. Let's keep playing." Wrong. As the game resumes, he shoots a dark, menacing glare over at Jijan and Yena sitting together. Bro is not happy. Later, Jijan is chilling by himself on the rooftop, enjoying a sandwich and a soda. Suddenly, a door nearby slams open with a bang. The kid from the soccer game stumbles out, his hair a complete mess. "Please, I told you I was sorry," he begs. Taksu and his goons emerge and Taksu is holding a buzzing hair clipper. "Come here, you little punk," he sneers. They've got the poor guy totally cornered. "Shut your mouth and get over here," Taksu orders. He leans in, his expression pure evil. "Do you need to taste some blood before you come to your senses?" The student is so terrified he collapses to his knees. Just then, one of Taksu's goons spots Jijan sitting on the bench nearby. The goon jumps back in surprise. "Whoa, you scared me. What are you doing here?" The whole crew turns to look. Taksu just smirks. "Jijan, what, were you eating lunch all by yourself over here?" He calls it creepy, then tells Jijan to watch closely, because he's about to make a masterpiece. With a wicked laugh, he starts shaving the kid's head, saying he's making him look much better. He pats the student's head, showing off his work. What do you think? The poor kid is left with a horrible buzz cut, with 2 little tufts of hair left on top like devil horns. Taksu turns to the silent Jijan. "Hey, aren't you going to laugh?" When he gets no reaction, Taksu gets cocky. "You don't like my masterpiece? You're so picky." Then, his focus turns to Jijan. He shoves the buzzing clippers right in Jijan's face. "So shall I create a perfect masterpiece? What do you say?" He dares Jijan to say something if he doesn't want it, knowing full well that he never talks. When Jijan stays quiet, Taksu thinks he's won. "So, you're not going to talk, huh? I guess that means you're okay with it, right?" He brings the clippers right up to Jijan's hair. "Don't worry, I'll make it pretty." Jijan's eyes remain expressionless. Taksu gets closer and whispers, "You should watch yourself. I'm warning you, don't cross the line." He continues. He decides to back off, admitting that if he messes with Jijan, all the girls will get mad at him. "Let's go," he says, turning and walking away with his crew like the coward he is. The bullied student just stares at the door they left through, his humiliation hanging in the air. He kneels down by the piles of his own hair and pulls out his phone. He takes a grim selfie of the awful haircut. "I need to capture evidence," he mutters. He then looks up and realizes Jijan is still there. The student walks over to him. "Why weren't you laughing?" "To be honest, I don't care even if you laugh." The student looks at Jijan with a new level of respect. "As expected, you're different from the other guys." As he walks away, he adds, "If it were me, I would have laughed my head off." "Thank you, Jijan." Later that day, as school ends, a sudden downpour starts. Students scramble for cover, complaining about the unexpected rain. Walking through the crowd is Ariam, holding an umbrella with her usual cold, distant expression. Not far away, Jijan is walking by himself, getting completely soaked by the rain. "Hey, Jijan!" someone calls out. But before she can reach him, 2 of Taksu's goons grab Jijan by the shoulders. "Taksu wants to see you. Follow us." They lead him to a secluded area where Taksu, Yena, and the whole gang are waiting in the pouring rain. Taksu looks up with a cruel grin. "Well, look who it is. Our popular guy is here, still handsome even when you're soaking wet." Yena looks frantic. "You should stop this. Why did you bring Jijan here?" she demands. Ignoring her, Taksu grabs her phone. "Are you getting angry?" "I'm just trying to check something." And then he throws the phone into a puddle at Jijan's feet. The screen lights up, showing the wallpaper a picture of Jijan. Taksu asks coldly. Why is your face on Yena's home screen? Jijan stays silent as Taksu's face twists with rage. I don't know if I'm being petty, but I just can't understand it. Yena desperately tries to de-escalate. I told you it means nothing. I'm just using it because the mood looks good. Mood? Taksu seethes. You're telling me that was all? Yena shoves Jijan, trying to get him to run. Jijan, quick, leave. This has nothing to do with you. She looks at him pleadingly, her voice soft. Hurry, and go. One of the lackeys scoffs. See? All the girls are siding with that punk? They're even flirting right in front of us. Yena spins around, finally snapping. Cut it out, you loser. Stops crossing the line. And in a flash of pure rage, Taksu lunges forward and brutally punches Yena right in the face. Blood explodes from her mouth from the sheer force of the blow. As Yena crumples to the ground, a spray of her blood lands on Jijan's face. His eyes snap wide open in shock. In that instant, something inside him breaks and a cold, purple light glints in his eyes. Taksu stands over the fallen Yena, absolutely furious. You witch, who are you siding with in front of your own boyfriend? He turns to Jijan with a smug grin. So a girl likes you, huh? Did you already know? He glances back at Yena on the ground. How about you? Are you interested in her too? With a twisted grin, Taksu makes a disgusting offer. If you tell me honestly, I'll give her to you. I'll let you date her, you punk. He demands an answer from the silent Jijan. You were interested in her too, weren't you? Tell me. Yena finally speaks up from the ground. Boyfriend? Someone who throws drinking parties with other girls and brags about it online is my boyfriend? Taksu furiously snaps back. I already apologized about that. The older guys set it up for me. How could I just skip it? With tears in her eyes, Yena tells him it's over. You're not worthy of being my boyfriend. You're out. Shut up. Taksu screams, and without a second of hesitation, he slams his fist into the small of her back. Jijan watches, his face now a mask of pure, unfiltered rage. Yena cries out in pain but manages to get one last jab in. This is really the end for you. I was a crazy girl forever dating you. Losing it completely, Taksu grabs her by the shirt. Who gave you permission to end it? Do you think I'll let you go? Yena just dares him. That's right. Hit me. Hit me more. Let's settle this today, he roars, pulling his fist back for another punch. But just as he's about to connect, a hand shoots out and grabs his wrist, stopping the punch dead in its tracks. It's Jijan. Taksu is stunned. Jijan? Don't tell me you really were interested in her? I gave you my advice, didn't I? I told you not to cross the line. Taksu yells, swinging a massive punch right at Jijan's face. Jijan stumbles back, but he's completely unfazed, his eyes now glowing a dangerous red. You're not even a match for me, Taksu says coldly. Seeing this transformation, Yena screams in terror. Come to your senses, Jijan. His eyes narrow and he plants his feet, digging into the wet ground. Taksu can't believe it. He withstood that. I'm not holding back anymore. He unleashes another powerful, glowing punch. But Jijan doesn't even move an inch. He just takes the punch, his eyes glowing an intense, furious red. Taksu stares in disbelief at the unmoving boy. What is with this guy? Just go die, you bum. Taksu screams, throwing one last desperate punch. This time, Jijan effortlessly catches the fist in his hand. With a cold look in his glowing eyes, Jijan unleashes a brutal counterpunch, sending Taksu flying into a puddle. Taksu's crew can only watch in horror. What was that, Taksu? Yena is completely speechless. Taksu tries to push himself up, spitting blood. Shoot, what is this? But before he can recover, Jijan delivers a vicious kick straight to his head. That punk! He's asking for it. Seeing their leader down, the rest of the crew rushes in to attack Jijan all at once. One of the thugs grabs a metal pipe and swings it, but Jijan is way too fast. He kicks the guy in the chest, sending him flying before the pipe can even connect. The last guy standing watches his friend go down, completely frozen in pure terror. On the ground, Taksu stares up in disbelief. Jijan, what are you? Who are you? Jijan doesn't answer. He just grabs Taksu by the hair and viciously slams his face into the ground. He doesn't stop, repeatedly smashing Taksu's head into the wet pavement with relentless, terrifying fury. Yena finally rushes over and grabs Jijan from behind, pleading with him. Stop. Stop it, Jijan. Her voice seems to reach him. He stops, panting heavily as lightning flashes across the sky. As he catches his breath, Yena can only look on, her face a mixture of fear and deep concern. Without another word, Jijan straightens his clothes, shoulders his backpack, and walks away from the carnage. The one conscious thug can only stare after him, muttering, that lunatic. Yena is left kneeling on the wet ground, trying to process what just happened. As Jijan disappears into the storm, it's clear there's a deep, heavy darkness hidden behind all that silence. The writer wants us to see another angle on that encounter, to add to the mystery, I guess. From this vantage point, we see Ariam when Taksu's minions call Jijan and lead him to where Taksu is. She hears them talking about Taksu being furious with Jijan. Just ask for mercy as soon as you see him, dude. It's the only way you'll live, one of them advises. Arium is curious and maybe a bit concerned. Her hand grips the umbrella handle tight, and in the next second, she's sprinting through the rain. She cautiously peeks around a corner, and what she sees makes her eyes go wide with pure shock. Jijan is landing a brutal punch on Taksu, who's twice his size, sending blood flying, and his face? It's chillingly calm as he winds up for another devastating blow. Arium can only watch in horror as Jijan systematically dismantles the other bullies. When the carnage is over, Jijan is the only one left standing, soaked to the bone in the rain. He emerges from the alley, breathing heavily, and begins walking, then gives her a glance. In the middle of the downpour, their eyes lock. His gaze is intense, his face bruised and bloody. Arium's hand is shaking, but she offers him her umbrella. Jijan just stares for a second and walks away, totally ignoring her. Arium just stares after him as he walks off into the night. So mysterious. The next day, the storm has passed, and the sun shines over the school. In the classroom, everyone notices Taksu and his crew are MIA, just assuming they're skipping. But Jijan is missing too, and people are starting to talk. Yena's friend asks her if she knows what happened. Yena, now sporting a bandage on her cheek, just stares off into the distance, clearly thinking about him. Meanwhile, in a grimy underpass, some tough-looking dude is in total disbelief. He can't believe the news that Taksu is in the hospital. He says they were just out drinking a couple of days ago. He grabs one of Taksu's lackeys and demands to know how bad the damage is. The kid nervously explains that Taksu's face is fractured and he's too embarrassed for visitors. The leader asks how many of them got wrecked. The kid stammers, 4 of them. The big boss, Kang Doyle, is floored that Taksu lost and demands to know who did it. The lackey explains it was all done by one person, a quiet, mysterious transfer student named Jijan. Doyle just smirks, calling it pathetic that 4 guys got taken down by a single nobody. Suddenly, one of Doyle's massive goons grabs the kid by the throat, asking why he got away clean. He stammers that a 5-on-1 fight seemed cheap, so he stayed out of it. The big guy calls his bluff and smacks him hard across the face. Doyle, clearly annoyed by the interruption, asks what school Jijan transferred from. The kid insists nobody knows anything. He says Jijan is completely mute. Frustrated with how useless he is, the big goon punches him hard in the gut. He then demands a physical description. Anything they can use to identify Jijan. This is where it gets weird. The kid admits that Jijan is super handsome, like a model with a strange charisma. Did you fall for him or something? The goon yells, punching him again for the weirdly flattering description. But Doyle seems genuinely intrigued by this silent, secretive pretty boy fighter. He says a fighter like that is a rare item and gets a crazed, hungry look in his eye. I want it, he screams. The next day at school, students walk in under a hilariously ironic banner calling for non-violence. And there he is. Jijan walks calmly through the locker area, but he's being watched. The bowl-cut kid from Taksu's crew is spying on him from around a corner. A quick flashback shows Doyle ordering him to dig up information on Jijan's background. The kid was clearly terrified, but he had no choice but to accept the mission. Back in the present, he's stressing out, almost in tears. Why the heck does he have to do this? At that exact moment, Jijan opens his locker. Inside, he finds a pair of slippers and a smartphone that suddenly starts vibrating. With a flicker of surprise on his face, he picks up the unknown phone. A text from a random number congratulates him on getting a free phone. The message tells him to use an app called X-Talk to share any of his worries. Totally not suspicious at all, right? Jijan just looks around to see who might have done this. His little spy completely freaks out, thinking he's been spotted. But Jijan just turns and walks away, still examining the mysterious phone. Meanwhile, Arium is also nearby, holding up her phone. Jijan glances back down at the new phone, his expression totally unreadable. And a close-up on Arium reveals she's blushing hard at whatever is on her screen. As Jijan checks out the weird phone, Taksu's lackey keeps spying, trying to figure out what's going on. As Jijan walks off, he leaves the phone sitting on top of the lockers. Seeing his chance, the lackey lunges for the abandoned phone and snatches it up. He quickly inspects it. It's a super old model, and wait a minute, it isn't even locked. But before he can start snooping, Arium lands a brutal nudge to his back. He slams hard into the lockers with a loud crash, dropping the phone. Arium coolly strolls past, picking up the phone while the kid sputters on the ground in a daze. He yells after her, asking what her deal is, but she just runs away. Left alone and completely owned, the kid is seething with a mix of rage and pure humiliation. Elsewhere, Yena is walking with her friend Yuri, who's excitedly talking about her aunt's new poodle puppies. Yena, however, is a million miles away, completely lost in thought and not hearing a word. Her friend immediately calls her out for zoning out again, and Yena tries to play it off. But her friend sees right through her, teasing, "Liar, you were thinking about Jijan again, weren't you?" As Yena denies it, her friend suddenly spots him down the hall and shouts, "Hey, it's Jijan." Yena's head whips around, her own eyes widening in surprise as she sees him. Their gazes lock across the crowded hallway, and Yena is suddenly hit with a massive wave of emotion. Without any warning, tears begin to well up in her eyes. She doesn't even hesitate. She shoves her posters into her friend's arms and calls out his name. She takes off running after him, leaving her friend to sigh. Jijan's the only one you see, huh? In a flash, she closes the distance between them. Catching up to him, Yena immediately throws her arms around him in a tight hug. The sudden bold move leaves all the other students in the hallway completely stunned. With tears streaming down her face, she tells him how worried she was and asks if he's okay. She looks up at him and says, "You saved me, Jijan. I won't ever forget it." Jijan is expressionless as usual, as Yena says a heartfelt thanks. And of course, watching the whole scene unfold from the sidelines, Taksu's lackey grumbles with jealousy. He quickly pulls out his phone and starts tapping out his daily report for Doyle. His notes are simple: late to school, popular with the girls, and still not talking. He wonders if this intel is even enough. Later that day, after school lets out, Jijan walks alone through the city streets. As he walks, a tough-looking guy on a yellow dirt bike spots him from across the street. He smirks, recognizing Jijan instantly. He sure stands out, he mutters to himself. He pulls out his phone and sends a quick message, alerting another delinquent on a scooter nearby. The trap is sprung. The two of them move in at once, screeching to a halt to block Jijan's path completely. The man with the glasses sizes him up. "Jijan? You're Jijan, right?" Jijan remains completely silent, staring back with that same intense, stoic expression. The man just smirks. "I guess I'm right. Get on. We came to pick you up." These biker thugs roll up and don't even waste time. They ask Jijan if he's heard of the legend from Daesun High, a guy named Kang Do-il. The lead biker starts running his mouth, calling Jijan's school a total dump for losers. Talk about picking a fight. Then he drops the real reason they're here. The big boss, Kang Doyle, wants a meeting. He tells Jijan to get on the bike, now. He tries to play it cool, saying it's just an invitation and that Jijan won't get hurt. For now, sounds super reassuring. But Jijan isn't having any of it. He completely blanks them and just walks away. The thugs are furious, screaming at him to get on the bike. Not taking the hint, one of them lunges forward and snags Jijan by his backpack, trying to force him to stop. They call him a stubborn punk and threaten to break his legs if he keeps walking. These guys really don't know who they're messing with. And Jijan's reaction? He just gives them a cold side eye. Bro is completely unimpressed by their empty threats. With a single smooth shrug, he just slips his backpack off and keeps walking. The thugs can't believe the audacity. Okay, playtime's over. The bikers rev their engines, screaming that he's a dead man. He ducks into a tight alleyway, walking calmly. The bikers aren't giving up, screeching right in after him. But the narrow space is a huge problem for them. The scooter scrapes the wall as his buddy on the dirt bike yells at him to get out of the way. Jijan hits a massive flight of stairs. The dirt bike rider just pops a wheelie and rides right up the steps after him. What a madman. The biker barrels down another set of stairs, still shouting. But check this out. Jijan isn't running anymore. He's just waiting calmly at the top. And with god-tier timing, he punts a full garbage bag right into the biker's path. This is gonna be good. It's a direct hit. The bag smacks the rider clean in the face, sending him and his bike flying through the air in a beautiful, trashy arc. He then crashes directly into his buddy who was running up on foot. It's a perfect strike, sending them both tumbling down the stairs like bowling pins. And to add insult to injury, the bike itself comes crashing down right on top of the first guy. Ouch, that's gotta hurt. Dazed and definitely bruised, the scooter dude helps his partner up, still screaming for him to get Jijan. Dude, read the room. They scramble up the stairs, but Jijan is already gone. Just kidding, they spot him in another alley, a classic bait and switch. Furious, they start the chase all over again, but Jijan leads them through a confusing maze of alleys until they completely lose him. Suddenly, they spot him again. One of the thugs goes for a flying tackle from behind, screaming that he's finally got him. He spins his target around, ready to finish it, only to find some random, terrified student. It's not Jijan at all. His partner runs up, totally confused. The first guy is so enraged by the mix-up that he just decks the poor innocent kid. What a jerk. And as they stand there completely defeated, the real Jijan watches the whole dumpster fire from a rooftop high above. He doesn't say a word, he just turns and walks away. Mission accomplished, total chaos created. Later, back at the thugs' hideout, one of them is reporting their massive failure. Apparently, Jijan politely declined their invitation. Our two failed chasers are getting punished, forced to do push-ups. They whine about how close they were, but their boss isn't hearing it and just kicks one in the face. He screams that he doesn't want excuses. Meanwhile, the big boss himself, Kang Doyle, just smirks from the sidelines, finding this all very entertaining. He turns his attention to Taksu's old lackey, Oh Sung-min. He asks if Sung-min managed to dig up any dirt on Jijan. Sung-min nervously gives his report, which is basically nothing. Jijan is late, popular with girls, and still a man of few words. Great intel, buddy. Kang Doyle is not impressed. He asks if that's seriously all he's got, and his heavy immediately grabs Seung-min by the hair. And just like that, Seung-min is forced to join the other failures on the floor, wondering how he got dragged into this mess too. Kang Doyle smiles and tells them to stop. He gives Seung-min a new mission though. Lure Jijeon to the back gate after school. Simple, right? He asks if Seung-min can at least handle that, and the look on Seung-min's face says it all. The poor guy is absolutely terrified. Kang Doyle then turns to another thug, Daesik, and puts him in charge of the operation. He wants Jijeon brought to him tomorrow, no excuses. Daesik confidently accepts. But meanwhile, Seung-min is having a full-blown panic attack, wondering how in the world he's going to lure a beast like Jijeon anywhere. The next day, Seung-min tries to play it casual. He's holding 2 grape sodas nervously. His friend tries to grab one for himself. Seung-min just gets angry and calls him a cheapskate to deflect, because his real target is walking just a few feet ahead. You guessed it, it's Jijeon. Seung-min runs up with the fakest smile you've ever seen, wishing Jijeon a good morning and offering him the soda. Jijeon just stares back, completely expressionless. Seung-min starts backpedaling fast, swearing he was never really one of Taksu's guys. He even tries to suck up, saying how awesome it was to see Taksu get wrecked. He offers the drink again, desperate to build some camaraderie. And Jijeon's response? He just turns and walks away without saying a single word. Denied. Seung-min is left standing there like an idiot. Seung-min is fuming. This is way harder than he thought. He's terrified of what Kang Doyle will do to him if he fails this simple mission. The bell rings for lunch and everybody heads out. While everyone else is hyped to leave, Jijeon is just chilling with his head on his desk. With the classroom finally empty, Jijeon lifts his head. Seung-min's watching from the doorway. He'd been searching for Jijeon at the cafeteria. Did he bring his own lunch? Jijeon heads out to his favorite spot on the rooftop, and on a bench there's a phone just sitting there. And right on cue, the phone buzzes to life. Its screen lights up with a mysterious notification. The message is simple. It just reads, "Eating bread today too?" Meanwhile, Arum is staring at her phone, completely flustered and blushing like crazy. Jijeon picks up the phone curiously. This person says they've seen him eating alone on the rooftop, just like they do. The mysterious texter says they wanted to talk, which immediately puts Jijeon on high alert, scanning the area for his secret admirer. Another message pops up saying they're on the opposite side. What a strange way to introduce yourself. And just like that, an arm starts waving like crazy from across the fence trying to get his attention. Jijeon takes a seat as the texts keep rolling in. The person admits they're awkward and heard he doesn't talk much either. "Why aren't you talking?" comes the next text. Jijeon just stares back, his thumb hovering over the keyboard. Suddenly, a loud voice shouts his name, completely startling him out of his thoughts. It's Oh Seung-min, who runs up with a ridiculously fake grin plastered on his face. "Whoa, fancy meeting you here." Seung-min holds up a bag of bread, claiming he was just coming up to eat. He then asks if Jijeon was eating all by himself. He's super eager to eat together, and Jijeon just kind of accepts it with his usual stoic silence. So the two of them sit on the bench. Seung-min is going to town on his bread, while Jijeon just sips his drink. But they're not alone. Arum is peeking over from the next rooftop, spying on them while having her own snack. All of a sudden, Seung-min bends over and starts crying. Bro is putting on a real show. With tears streaming down his face, he blurts out, "Jijeon, actually, I have no friends." He tries to explain that he only hung out with Taksu's gang because he was afraid of being a total loner. Looking at Jijeon with puppy dog eyes, he suggests they team up as fellow outsiders and become friends. But get this, it is all an act. Inside, Seung-min is raging, thinking, shoot, is this not working? I even squeezed out some tears. Jijeon is completely unfazed. He just stands up to leave, leaving Seung-min in total disbelief. As Jijeon walks away, Seung-min just loses it, screaming, "No, all my effort." In a desperate move, he lunges forward and grabs Jijeon's arm, pleading, "We can be friends, right?" He even tries clinging to Jijeon's leg, but Jijeon easily yanks his arm away, sending the pathetic Seung-min tumbling to his knees. Seung-min checks his phone, and it's bad news. He's got angry texts from Daesik demanding to know why he hasn't brought Jijeon yet. Later in class, Daesik texts again telling him to get Jijeon to the back gate. Seung-min is panicking as the teacher dismisses everyone. But he's not giving up. He clenches his fist, determined to somehow get a hold of Jijeon. He rushes through the crowded hallway, terrified that his target has already gone home for the day. Peeking into their now empty classroom, he starts to panic. Oh no, there's no one inside. But then he sees him. Jijeon is just sitting there on a desk by the window, looking like a main character as the curtains blow around him. Seung-min just stares, completely confused. What is this? Is he shooting a commercial by himself or something? His phone buzzes again. It's Daesik, and he is absolutely furious, screaming through the text. Taking a deep breath, Seung-min enters the classroom. "Jijeon, you still haven't left." He immediately launches into another fake sob story, claiming he called his mom and told her he finally made a friend. He says his mom, who works nearby, desperately wants to meet Jijan and asked him to bring him over. The lies are getting deep now. He begs Jijan, "Can't you just show your face in front of her for a moment, please?" Seungmin's face twists with intensity as he tries to guilt-trip him. "When my mom is insisting, you can't just refuse." But Jijan's silence is making him desperate. He thinks to himself, "Wow, are you really even thinking about it? This cold punk?" Losing all his composure, he grabs Jijan by the shoulders and shakes him, yelling, "Hey, just a moment is fine. Aren't we friends?" He literally drags Jijan out of the classroom. "This way." And as they leave, Ariam watches them go. As they walk, Seungmin cheerfully explains that the back gate is a shortcut to the market. But his expression darkens as he thinks, "I'm sorry, Jijan. If you're naive in this neighborhood, you can't survive." He pulls out his phone. He quickly fires off a text to Daesik, letting him know they're passing by the back gate right now. The trap is set. Just as they round the corner, a massive figure in a green tracksuit steps out, blocking their path completely. Without a word, Daesik gives Jijan an aggressive nudge with his shoulder. The force of the nudge got Jijan falling on his back as Daesik grabs the strap of his backpack to pull him closer. My, you should be more careful," Daesik sneers, clearly enjoying this. He grins like a villain. "There was no point in me even waiting for you." He follows up with a brutal backhand that sends Jijan stumbling backward. This guy means business. "Nice to meet you, you little punk," Daesik growls, grabbing Jijan by the throat. He mocks him, "Your face is fine, but it looks like your skills were all talk." But then Jijan stomps his foot hard on top of Daesik's. Using that as a pivot, Jijan kicks off Daesik's chest and does a full backflip, sending the giant bully crashing to the ground. Jijan lands perfectly on the ground, but in the chaos, his phone slips right out of his pocket. The phone clatters onto a metal sewer grate, coming to a stop just inches from falling into the drain. That's not good. Jijan's eyes widen as he sees his phone's dangerous position. At the same time, Daesik is already getting back up. Daesik scrambles to his feet and catches Jijan off guard with a massive right hook that sends him flying across the ground. Jijan's foot conveniently kicks the phone out of the way. Problem solved. Cracking his knuckles, Daesik grins with pure malice. "I'll get you on the next turn." But as Jijan slowly gets up, a dark, menacing aura starts to radiate from him. "It's showtime, people." The hulking goon Daesik scoffs at Jijan. He sneers, "You think you can handle this weight difference with that scrawny body?" But Jijan isn't fazed one bit. His eyes are like ice, cold and locked on his target. Watching from a corner, Oh Seungmin is already apologizing in his head. He thinks, "Sorry, Jijan." With a furious roar, Daesik charges forward like a freight train ready to completely flatten Jijan. But wait, at the very last second he grabs his backpack. What's the plan here? He uses it to block the full force of Daesik's punch. That's some insane split-second thinking right there. The impact still sends him soaring, and he violently slams against the wall. Daesik is stunned. He lets out a creepy laugh, using your backpack to cushion the blow. He grins like a maniac. "Aren't you a lot smarter than you look?" Unfazed, Jijan calmly dumps the rest of his school supplies out of his ruined backpack. Daesik isn't waiting around. He charges again, screaming, "A trick like that won't work anymore." But Jijan is way too quick for him, easily ducking under the wild telegraph swing. His eyes are laser-focused, already setting up the counterattack. And there it is. He whips the empty backpack strap right around Daesik's ankle. With one powerful tug, he yanks the big man's leg straight out from under him. Daesik's face twists in pure shock as he starts to lose his balance. He never saw this coming. The huge goon comes crashing down hard onto the pavement. David versus Goliath, folks. Absolutely enraged, Daesik pushes himself up, screaming, "You little punk." But Jijan isn't giving him a second to breathe. He's already leaping into the air. But suddenly, he stops barely an inch from the thug's head. Daesik can barely believe what's happening. The audacity of this guy. He's absolutely seething, yelling, "Who are you trying to show off for?" Jijan doesn't need to say a word. He unleashes a devastating axe kick straight down onto Daesik's head. The power is insane. The force of the blow sends Daesik reeling. Oh, Seungmin is completely speechless. What just happened? Jijan beat Hwang Daesik. Daesik is completely out cold, collapsing to the ground. And just like that, the fight is over. Jijan calmly turns away like it was nothing. His eyes land on his phone, which is lying dangerously close to a sewer grate. But suddenly, a voice screams from behind him. "It's not over yet, Jijan." Oh no. Daesik, bloody but not broken, lunges up from the ground. This guy is tough. Jijan reacts instantly, spinning with a kick that knocks Daesik back down again. But in the chaos, his phone gets knocked loose and is sent flying through the air. Jijan makes a desperate dive for it, but he's just a second too slow. Daesik snatches it right off the ground. He grins maliciously. "Is this what's so important to you?" Wiping blood from his nose, he says, My only job is to take you to Doyle. Pity I can't drag your half-dead body to him. He snaps his fingers. Suddenly, a scooter comes speeding down the alley seemingly out of nowhere. Desik hops on the back and issues a challenge. Come to Satgill Park if you want this back. He gives a menacing look over his shoulder. Your welcome party is already prepared. And with that, they speed off, leaving Jijan and a totally stunned Oh Seungmin in the alley. Seungmin rushes over to Jijan, completely frantic. Jijan, are you alright? Are you hurt anywhere? He grabs Jijan's face, anxiously checking him for any injuries. He's relieved he's okay, but then the panic sets in. That was so close. But what are you gonna do now? They took your phone. He's shouting, they'll get all your private information. This could get really bad. You can meet my mom next time. For now, you should hurry and go to Satgill Park, he tells Jijan. Okay, I've done my part. Doesn't matter if he goes or not, he thinks to himself. But as he turns to make his escape, he sees that Jijan is already walking away. Seungmin is stunned. Where are you going? Are you really going after them just for a phone? Jijan doesn't even look back. He just walks forward with total purpose, heading straight into the lion's den. He arrives at Satgill Park and begins to climb a long flight of wooden stairs. At the top, a few delinquents are already waiting for him, just lounging around and smoking. The welcoming party, I guess. His expression is grim. He knows this isn't going to be easy. And he was right. It's not just a few guys, it's a whole crew. But Junjan stands his ground, fists clenched at his sides, ready for whatever comes next. And there, sitting in a gazebo in the middle of them all, is the man himself, Kang Doyle. Doyle's eyes narrow, and then a cruel smirk spreads across his face. Well now, this is nice. He holds up the cracked smartphone. You came all this way for this, right? Jijan walks straight towards him, passing right through the crowd of thugs without a hint of fear. Doyle casually inspects the phone. Doesn't seem like there's anything important on here. No numbers saved, no call records either. He continues, the only thing it has is a couple of texts from a girl who's been watching you. Oh, this just got interesting. Doyle looks up at Jijan, clearly amused. But seeing how you actually came all the way here just to get this phone back, Jijan stops right in front of him and holds out his hand, demanding it back. Doyle just grins, taunting him. Is she your girlfriend? Or just a little fling? Jijan's expression darkens as Doyle shouts, Man, now I'm all curious. So I sent her a text, Doyle says, his eyes gleaming with mischief. It was just so frustrating to watch. He adds with a wicked grin, I texted her something to get things moving along. Meanwhile, Aryun feels her own phone buzz in her pocket. She pulls it out and looks at the screen, a completely confused expression on her face. It's a message from Jijan's number starting with a simple, hey. But the next message is shockingly direct. I'm feeling lonely right now. Want to meet up? Then it drops an absolute bombshell. If you come to Satgill Park, you'll be my girlfriend starting today. And look who sent it. This punk Doyle, smirking while holding Jijan's phone. He figures if the girl actually shows up, it's proof she likes him. But Jijan just stares him down, giving absolutely nothing away. His face is like a stone wall. Doyle jokes that Jijan will owe him big time once he lands the girl. What a friend, right? Jijan doesn't say a word. He just holds out his hand, silently demanding his phone back. But Doyle just pulls it away, totally unimpressed. You want this, he asks, like it's some kind of game. One of his goons, Dasik, chimes in, bragging that his crew worked hard to drag Jijan here. Doyle goes on that Taksu probably deserved it. But you see, there are rules around here. Jijan beat up one of his men, and for that, there's a price. Doyle looks him up and down with a smirk. You came here prepared to pay it, right? Jijan remains completely silent, which just makes Doyle chuckle. He clearly finds this amusing. Doyle then holds up Jijan's phone. The deal is simple. If Jijan can hold on to this while fighting his entire crew, he gets it back. Since you're a transfer, you don't know how things work around here. He explains that in this neighborhood, the ranking fights are everything. It's a brutal system. The moment you mess with Taksu, he declares, you officially join the ranking fight. With a wild grin, Doyle shouts, so let's see how skilled you really are. Dasik gets right up in Jijan's face, cackling. This is the place of revenge, Jijan. And with no warning, he throws a massive punch right at Jijan's head. But check this out. Jijan takes the hit and doesn't even flinch. His expression is completely unchanged. Dasik is absolutely stunned, his shock quickly turning to rage. You punk. He screams at the rest of the crew, what are you all doing? Get this guy. A thug in a red hat throws the first punch, but Jijan effortlessly puts up a block. You can see his hand clenching into a tight fist. He's ready. He even catches another thug's fist midair, stopping the attack cold, but it's a numbers game. He's quickly overwhelmed as the others swarm in, landing punches from all sides. Even as the beating continues, there's a sharp glint of light reflecting in his eye. He takes a brutal shot right to the face that would knock anyone else out. Then another one to the gut that doubles him over. This is getting rough. A thug grabs him by the hair, holding him in place for the next attack. He takes another devastating punch to the side of the head with a sickening impact. And once he's on the ground, a foot comes down hard, stomping on him. The gang is relentless, kicking and punching him from every single angle. Doyle watches the whole thing, looking confused. Why is he only defending, he wonders. He starts to think that maybe Jijan just isn't interested in their little ranking fight at all. One of the thugs points out that Jijan hasn't even screamed. Is he really risking his life just to stay quiet? This gives Doyle a twisted idea. A depraved look crosses his face. I wonder what kind of voice will come out of someone like him. So he raises the stakes, shouting to his crew, anyone who makes that guy scream, I'll give you the limited edition Jordan Nikic. The thug's eyes immediately light up with greed. Really? Awesome. The promise of rare sneakers sends them into a total frenzy, and they descend on Jijan all over again. Doyle screams at him, Jijan, show your skills, prove to me that you're a rare item. Daesik shoves his way through the crowd, yelling for everyone to move out of his way. He taunts the beaten Jijan, asking where his fighting spirit went and if he's scared now. Daesik connects with a brutal uppercut, sending spit and blood flying through the air. The blow knocks Jijan flat on his back. He looks utterly defeated. He's struggling to breathe, his face a mess of bruises and blood, but incredibly, his eyes are still open. This isn't enough for one of the goons, who decides to take things to a whole new level by picking up a huge rock. He grins like a maniac, raising the rock high above his head. I'll make this guy scream. He gloats that he never liked Jijan's face anyway, and this will solve everything. But before he can bring it down, a foot slams into his head with incredible force. It's Doyle. He stands over the downed thug and coldly asks, do you want to die? He then turns back to Jijan, grabbing him by the collar and pulling him up. He gets right in his face. Do you enjoy this? You're trying to hide something, aren't you? He tells Jijan that this will never end, not until he proves his worth. Meanwhile, hiding behind a tree, Seungmin is watching the whole thing unfold, feeling absolutely terrible for Jijan. He knows Doyle's gang is on a completely different level than Taksu's crew. This is serious. Suddenly his eyes widen as he notices someone else approaching the park. At that exact moment, Jijan's phone, still in Doyle's hand, lights up with a brand new message. The message is simple and direct. Please let him go. Doyle looks up from the screen, his eyes wide with genuine surprise, and there she is. It's the girl, Aram. She's standing at the edge of the clearing, her face hidden in the shadows. Doyle's shock melts into a wicked grin as he looks at Jijan. Perhaps you'll find your will to fight now. Your little fling has arrived. He gives a subtle nod to one of his thugs, who smirks and says, okay. The thug starts walking towards Ariam, waving his hand. Hey, come a little closer. Ariam doesn't move. Instead, she starts typing a reply on her phone. But before she can send it, the thug rushes up behind her. He violently grabs her by the arm, stopping her cold. Wow, he leers, pulling her close. You're actually pretty. She tries to pull away, but he yanks her back. Where do you think you're going? You came here by yourself, didn't you? Watching from the trees, Seungmin's face twists in horror. What? That's Ariam. He's completely panicked. He has no idea what he's supposed to do now. He instinctively takes a step forward to help, snapping a twig under his foot. The thug just grins at Ariam. You should go see your boyfriend's face. Let's go. But Seungmin freezes up. He's too terrified to intervene and can only watch them go. The thug announces his success, confirming he's dragged Aram into the park just like he was ordered. Up until now, Jijan has taken the entire beating without making a sound, but seeing her here, something finally snaps. Ahiram's terrified face triggers a flashback for Jijan, a memory of her showing him a simple moment of kindness on a rainy day, and how she tried to connect with him despite his lack of reaction. Back in the present, Aram flinches in fear, the thug's grip leaving angry red marks on her arm. And that is it. That is the absolute last straw. The empty look in Jijan's eyes is instantly replaced by pure, unadulterated rage. The thugs are in total shock. They can't believe their eyes, she actually came. One of the goons grinds his foot on Jijan's head and sneers at her. He says Jijan is busy getting a little educations right now. Ariam's hands are trembling, but she immediately tries to de-escalate by typing a frantic message on her phone. But instead of speaking, she just stands there in complete silence. The thugs are totally baffled.
Why isn't she talking?
The leader, Doyle, absolutely loses it and starts laughing. He just realized she's silent, just like Jijan. The whole crew starts mocking them, calling them a weirdo chat couple. Doyle, being the menace he is, turns this into a sick game. He smirks and says he'll reward whoever can make one of them talk. The big goon's eyes light up with a creepy glint. He asks if the girl is fair game, and Doyle just gives him the green light. And just like that, a couple of creeps start closing in on Ariam. One of them says if she can't talk, she can't say no. Seriously messed up. One grabs her wrist, demanding she speak, while another gets way too close and starts messing with her hair. All the while, Jijan is watching from the ground. and the look in his eyes is pure unfiltered rage as the creep asks about her shampoo. Doyle just keeps poking the bear, taunting Jijan. He asks if he's just gonna sit there and let this happen. Another thug escalates things, grabbing Uriam's face to force her to talk. From behind a tree, a terrified Seungmin can only watch in horror. The thug tightens his grip, screaming right in her face to say something. This is their biggest mistake. But before he can finish his sentence, a fist comes flying out of nowhere and absolutely decks him. It's Jijan. He's on his feet, and he's already laid out one of the thugs who touched Uriam. The switch has been flipped. Without even a second's pause, he unloads another brutal punch right into the face of the guy who grabbed her. Some dude with pink hair thinks he can take him on. Nope. He gets sent flying backwards from a single powerful hit. And look at Doyle. He is absolutely loving this. He's ecstatic that Jijan is finally showing his true colors. In a flash, Jijan moves to stand directly in front of Uriam, becoming her human shield. Protector mode is activated. The rest of the gang, completely furious now, all scream and charge at him at the same time. But it's no use. Jijan is like a whirlwind, effortlessly dodging and weaving through every single attack they throw at him. He grabs one by the face and slams a vicious knee right into his gut. He follows it up with a nasty elbow strike to the back of the head. That guy is definitely out for the count. Another one comes in with a kick, but Jijan just casually trips him up, sending him face-planting into the dirt. Seeing his boys get absolutely dismantled, the big thug Daesik roars that he's going to end this himself and charges in. Daesik throws a kick, but Jijan catches it. He twists him off balance and delivers a bone-crushing stomp right to his face. Daesik stumbles back in shock and throws a massive haymaker, but Jijan just ducks under it like it's nothing. Jijan then spins and unleashes an insane high kick that connects perfectly with Daesik's jaw. What a clean hit. Doyle is watching, completely captivated by the show. He mutters with a sick smile that Jijan is a rare item. Jijan closes the gap and drives a powerful knee straight into Daesik's gut, making the huge guy scream in pure agony. With Daesik doubled over in pain, Jijan raises his clasped hands high over his head, prepping a finishing blow. And he brings them down in a devastating hammer fist, smashing Daesik's face straight into the pavement with sickening force. Daesik, the walking tank, is out cold. The others stare in horror for a second before screaming and charging in again. Jijan just becomes a blur of destruction. He launches himself into the air and takes out multiple guys at once with a flurry of kicks. Doyle is watching this beautiful carnage with a chilling grin. He's thinking, who is this guy? He's way beyond his wildest expectations. But then one of the last thugs makes a cowardly move. He grabs Aram from behind and puts her in a chokehold, screaming at Jijan to kneel. This sight immediately triggers a dark memory for Jijan. He sees another girl, a blonde one, held in the exact same way, screaming his name. And just like that, something inside him snaps. A strange purple energy flickers in his eye as he takes a single, deliberate step forward. The thug starts to panic, screaming at him not to come any closer, but you know Jijan is not listening. While the coward is distracted, another guy tries to sucker punch Jijan. Big mistake. He gets a bone-shattering fist to the face without Jijan even looking. With that out of the way, Jijan turns his full, unrestrained fury on the guy who's holding Uriam. The thug is screaming in pure terror now, begging for his life as Jijan approaches. But it is way too late for apologies. Jijan's fist connects and the impact is absolutely devastating. And he is not done. Jijan raises his foot, ready to bring it down with brutal finality. The guy can only whimper that he was wrong, but one look at Jijan's cold, empty glare tells you there is zero mercy left. He just keeps punching, and that strange purple energy starts glowing in his eye again. Suddenly, Doyle steps in and grabs Jijan's arm mid-swing. He yells at him to stop, saying it is enough. He then holds out Jijan's phone, telling him to take it. Looking down at the battered but victorious Jijan, Doyle declares that he's earned it back. He passed the test. He even offers Jijan a spot in his crew, admitting he's way too valuable of a fighter to pass up. But Jijan completely ignores the offer. He slowly gets to his feet, clenching his bloodied fist, and walks towards Doyle. Doyle is completely confused, yelling after him that it is all over. Doyle's friendly facade instantly vanishes, replaced by something else. What is with the attitude? I told you that's enough. Jijan attacks. A manic, unhinged grin spreads across Doyle's face. He gets into position and he's lightning fast. He completely dodges Jijan's blow and counters almost immediately. It connects with a massive impact, and a flash of that same purple energy explodes from the blow. The sheer force of the punch sends Jijan flying backward through the air like a ragdoll. He crashes to the ground, seemingly out cold. Doyle stands over him with a smug, twisted grin. He smugly says, I told you to stop, didn't I? Jijan is on the ground, completely gassed and beaten to a pulp, just trying to catch his breath. Kang Doyle looms over him with a smug grin, telling him he'll be back for that answer soon enough. He gives the order and his equally wrecked crew starts to pull back. The beatdown is over, for now. As they limp away, one of his guys can't help but wonder who in the world was that monster they just fought. Even Dasik, his face a total wreck, is confused. He asks Doyle why he'd still want to recruit a guy who just handed them their butts. Doyle just touches his busted lip and admits that even he got chills when Jijan went berserk. He flashes back to that insane counter. He was sure he dodged it, but Jijan's speed was on another level. The guy has a genius-level talent for hitting weak points. Doyle isn't just mad, he's seriously impressed. Then he gets this totally unhinged look in his eyes. This dude is obsessed, declaring he's going to make Jijan his, one way or another. Later we find Jijan slumped on a park bench. RM shows up and you can see the pure worry in her eyes. But Jijan just stares at the ground, his face a mess of cuts and bruises, completely shutting her out. You can see her heart breaking right there. A single tear falls and then she just bolts. Then his phone starts buzzing. He checks it, and it's a text from Ariam. She's running to get medicine for him and asked him to wait. But seeing her message triggers something, a dark memory starts to surface. He's thrown back to that horrifying moment when one of the goons was holding her hostage, screaming at Jijan to get on his knees or she gets hurt. He snaps back to reality, but his face is stone cold. That memory changed everything. He picks up the phone, gives it one last look, and leaves it behind. He just walks away, abandoning it completely. But hold on, he wasn't alone. Oh Sung-min was hiding behind a tree and he saw everything. He's totally speechless, calling Jijan unreal. Sung-min realizes that the new transfer student isn't just some guy, he's a certified monster. Then he spots the phone on the bench. He recognizes it instantly. It's the same one he saw at the school shoe racks. And all the pieces click into place. He realizes Arun must be the one who gave Jijan that phone. Just then, he hears footsteps. Oh no, it's Arun. And she's running right back to the bench. Sung-min totally panics. He looks at the phone in his hand and just makes a break for it. Arun gets back with a bag full of medicine, only to find the bench empty. Meanwhile, as Sung-min is booking it, the phone lights up again. It's another text from Ariam, asking if Jijan is okay. Reading this makes Sung-min furious. How could Jijan just abandon his phone when Ariam is so worried about him? He's totally conflicted. Should he reply and put her mind at ease, or just ignore it? He scrolls up and sees her first text, introducing herself and saying she wants to get to know him. His heart just sinks. He's completely overwhelmed. Does he ignore her, or does he pretend to be Jijan? Back at the bench, Ariam's phone buzzes. She looks down and sees a reply. Just one word. Okay. But that one word is enough. The next day at school, things are about to get crazy. Sung-min's friend is glued to his phone, his jaw on the floor. And what's he watching? It's a video of Jijan single-handedly dismantling Doyle's entire crew. His friend can't believe it's the same transfer student. Sung-min admits he was so shocked he barely managed to hit record. The friend is convinced Jijan is going to be super popular, but Sung-min just mutters that he already is. The salt is real, folks. He's just fuming, because he's 100% sure his crush, Ariam, has a thing for Jijan. Bro is having a complete meltdown. He's mad, Jijan is ghosting her, but also kinda relieved. He's a mess. His friend sees a golden opportunity. He says the video would go viral and snatches the phone, ready to upload it. Sung-min chases after him but ends up crashing right into another student, knocking the guy's tie clip to the floor. He looks up and freezes. It's Jin Wu, the number 2 ranked fighter of the sophomores, and he does not look happy. Sung-min is completely paralyzed with fear, barely able to stammer out the infamous fighter's name. He scrambles to pick up the tie clip, nervously offering to put it back on for him. But Jin Wu's not having it. He just smacks Sung-min hard across the face and tells him to go get his crew. His friend runs over to help, but Sung-min just screams at him, blaming him for the whole mess. His friend tells him to calm down, saying he's lucky it was just one slap. Apparently, Jin Wu is known for having a seriously bad temper, but Sung-min's not listening. His eyes are locked on Yena, who's walking with Jijan and pointing at the cuts on his face. Watching them walk off together sends Sung-min into a jealous rage. He just can't stand how popular Jijan is. He is absolutely fuming. First it was Ariam and now Yena too. Why does this guy get all the attention? And speak of the devil, he turns around, and there she is. Ariam is walking right down the street. He quickly tries to play it cool, stammering out a greeting as she gets closer, and she walks right past him without a single glance. Ouch. That's a critical hit to the ego. That's when he gets an idea. If he can't get Ariam's attention directly, maybe he needs to get close to Jijan first. Suddenly, his friend pops up out of nowhere with a wicked grin on his face, holding out the phone. On the screen is the fight video, queued up and ready to post with the title, Holy Cow Transfer Student. And before Sung-min can do a single thing to stop him, his friend hits the upload button. It's done. We change scenes to the classroom. A pack of bullies has cornered their favorite punching bag, and they're getting artsy with it. And with a final smack, the masterpiece is complete. They've drawn a smiley face on the back of his head, calling it an improvement. Seriously? The poor victim, Guman, looks completely broken as his tormentors howl with laughter. But the humiliation isn't over. Their next brilliant idea is to make him walk backwards for the rest of the day. Terrified and confused, Guman actually starts to shuffle backwards, right as they guide him towards the stairs. You know what's coming next. Guman loses his footing completely and takes a nasty tumble headfirst down the entire flight of stairs. And the bullies, they just stand at the top, laughing their heads off and calling him an idiot. Just pure evil. But just before Guman smashes into the landing, a blur of motion appears out of nowhere and catches him. It's Jijan. He just saved Guman from a trip to the hospital, and Guman stares back in total shock. Yenna rushes over to check if Guman is alright. He's shaken, but says he's fine. That's when Yenna finally sees it. She spots the ridiculous drawing on his head and completely loses it. Guman just apologizes pathetically while Jijan watches the whole scene with a cold, unreadable face. Seeing Jijan's stone-cold expression, Guman can't help but think to himself, he's the only one not laughing at me. As his silent savior walks away, Guman musters up the courage to shout, "Thank you, Jijan." Meanwhile, in another part of the school, something big is about to go down in the gymnasium. Inside, it's an all-out brawl. Students are trading heavy blows in an unofficial fight club. A huge crowd has gathered around them, cheering, jeering, and probably betting their lunch money on the outcome. But one person is not impressed. Jin Wu sits on the bleachers, looking totally bored by the amateur display. Suddenly, his lackey runs up and shoves a phone in his face. It's a crazy fight video of some new transfer student. And this video is absolutely blowing up online. The views are climbing and the comments are going wild. Jin Wu's interest is finally piqued. He asks if the guy is from their school, and his buddy confirms the uniform matches. A menacing grin spreads across Jin Wu's face. If this monster is really at their school, things are about to get very interesting. He stands up, silencing the crowd. He needs to know everything about this transfer student, and he needs to know now. One of the fighters points out there's a quiet new kid over in class 5, and then he drops the bomb. The word on the street is that this new guy is the one who hospitalized Taksu. Jin Wu's grin widens. So he's the one who took out Taksu? He orders his men to dig up everything they can on him. Later during lunch, Guman actually turns down his friends, saying he has other plans. He works up the nerve to approach Jijan, offering to share the bread he bought as a thank you. Hey, maybe we can eat lunch together once in a while, Guman says. But Jijan just stays silent. But their unlikely lunch date is immediately crashed by Oh Sung-min, who declares he was waiting for Jijan the whole time. Sung-min gets right in Guman's face, demanding to know why they're together. He insists he's the one who should be eating with Jijan. Then Sung-min notices the drawing on Guman's head and starts laughing his head off. Man, this kid has no filter. Guman tries to defend himself, but Sung-min just keeps roasting his ridiculous new haircut. Guman dramatically declares that his head is living proof of bullying and the truth must be seen. Can you take my picture? Guman asks. Cut the BS, Sung-min shoots back. A few minutes later, a confused Sung-min is snapping photos, having absolutely no idea what's even happening anymore. Just then, his phone buzzes. It's a message from Ariam, and his face instantly turns bright red. He makes up a lame excuse and sprints away, leaving Guman and Jijan behind. The text from Aram just says, "Have a nice lunch." Sung-min is on cloud 9, clutching his phone like a treasure. Meanwhile, Aram gets a reply that says, "You too." A small, happy blush appears on her face as well. But back with Sung-min, his happiness turns to sheer horror as the rooftop door opens. A shadow falls over him. A tough-looking student named No Jamin strides in. Jamin has tracked them all the way to the rooftop. He smirks, saying the rumors are true about the transfer student's lunch spot. He confidently walks towards Jijan, holding up a phone playing that viral fight video. "This is you, isn't it?" Jijan just stares at the phone while Sung-min looks like he's about to have a heart attack. That idiot friend of his uploaded the video. Poor Guman is completely lost, sweating buckets and wondering what in the world is going on. But Jamin knows exactly why he's here. He challenges Jijan directly, telling him to get up and show him what he's got. Jijan doesn't even move. He just stares ahead blankly. Jamin gets angry and shouts, "Hey, I said get up." Losing his patience, Jamin snaps and throws a punch that stops just a single inch from Jijan's face. And Jijan's reaction? Nothing. He doesn't even blink. He just looks bored, which is the ultimate sign of disrespect. Jamin is practically shaking with rage at being ignored so completely. He taunts him, trying to get any kind of reaction. Finally snapping, he screams that if Jijan won't get motivated, he'll just beat him into it. He winds up for a full power punch. "If you're not going to say anything, then I'll just beat you up," Jamin screams. But Jijan's reflexes are on another level. He ducks under the sloppy punch with zero effort. And without even a moment's hesitation, he counters with a brutal kick right to Jamin's shin. The impact sends Jaemin stumbling forward, completely losing his balance. His face meets the wooden bench with a sickening crack. Ouch, that had to hurt. Jaemin hits the deck, screaming in agony while everyone just stands there, totally stunned. He pulls his hand away, revealing a face full of blood. Yep, that nose is definitely broken. Jijan just stares him down with this dark, terrifying silence. Jaemin is absolutely petrified and scrambles to his feet. Screaming his head off, he turns tail and bolts out of there as fast as his legs can carry him. Seungmin and Guman are left completely speechless, just wondering what in the world just happened. Guman turns to Jijan, his face a mask of pure awe. He can't believe it. Who the heck are you? You're crazy. Seungmin whispers that he's the dude who sent Taksu to the hospital, and Guman is floored. Guman's admiration is through the roof. He knew Jijan was different, but this is a whole new level of cool. But Seungmin gets serious, warning them that Jaemin's appearance means big trouble is on the way. He explains that Jaemin works for Kim Jin-woo's crew. They scout strong fighters and force them into a secret fighting ring in the gym. And Seungmin drops the bombshell. Jijan is their next target. Guman can't even process that there's a fight club at their school. He adds that some students even join willingly to make cash. With Jijan's insane skills, he could make a fortune. Guman bonks his head, furious that Seungmin wants Jijan to join. Seungmin quickly clarifies that he just has faith in Jijan's strength to handle it. So Guman turns to the silent Jijan and puffs out his chest. He declares that he'll reject the offer for him. He figures Jijan hates fighting and attention, right? So he's going to be the one to talk to them on his behalf. Guman throws an arm around Jijan's shoulder with a huge grin. He says that's what friends are for. Friends? Why are you acting like you're close to him? Seungmin is not having it, calling him out. But Guman proudly announces they're already friends. Later, back in the classroom, the air is thick with whispers and gossip. But the second Jijan and Guman walk in, the room goes silent. All eyes are on them. Instantly, a crowd swarms Jijan, shoving a phone in his face. It turns out he's gone viral. The phone is playing a shaky video of that insane brawl at the park. They're all desperate for confirmation. But Guman steps up, playing bodyguard. He tells everyone to back off and go through him if they have something to say. The other students just scoff, mocking Guman for latching onto the new popular guy. But suddenly, the classroom door slams open with a deafening crash, and in walks Kim Jin-woo with a lackey. Their entrance instantly silences the entire room. A wave of pure fear washes over the students. They know exactly who this is. Jin-woo stands at the front of the class and calmly asks for the new transfer student. Without a word, every single pair of eyes in the room drifts to the back, landing right on Jijan. Jin-woo locks his gaze onto Jijan. He and his enforcer start walking down the aisle straight for him. But just as they reach his desk, Guman stands up, blocking their path. You gotta admire the courage. Who the heck are you? Jin-woo glares. Guman nervously stammers that he's Jijan's friend and representative. He says they can talk to him instead. Jin-woo's lackey gets right in Guman's face, mocking him for thinking he's some kind of big shot. And before Guman can even react, the goon decks him right in the face with a brutal punch. Are you an idiot, representative? Guman stumbles back, clutching his face as the lackey sneers at him. He then grabs Guman by the collar, laughing at how ridiculous he looks. With Guman taken care of, Jin-woo finally steps up to Jijan's desk. He gets straight to the point. He asks Jijan if he's the one who messed up Jaemin's nose. Jijan just stares back, his expression giving absolutely nothing away. Jin-woo pulls out a black card with a snarling dog on it. It's an invitation to the gymnasium's fight club, known as Hound Dog. He explains his scout already tried and failed, so he came himself, holding the card out to Jijan. He pushes the card closer, asking the million-dollar question, doesn't he want to make some money? Even while dazed, Guman tries to speak up, insisting that Jijan doesn't want to fight. Jin-woo's face darkens with pure rage. He's had enough of Guman's interruptions. He snaps, delivering a vicious kick to Guman's stomach that sends him flying across the room. Jin-woo stands over him, absolutely furious, screaming at him for not knowing his place. He roars at him to stay down before starting to stomp on Guman over and over again. The rest of the class can only watch in absolute horror as the one-sided beatdown continues. But then, a hand shoots out and grabs Jin-woo's shirt, stopping him mid-stomp. Jin-woo spins around, shocked. It's Jijan, and his eyes are filled with a cold, terrifying fury. Jijan looks up at him, his expression dangerously calm. You know things are about to get real. Get your hands off, Jin-woo warns. But Jijan's grip only tightens. Jin-woo says he really hates being touched. But Jijan doesn't budge. Suddenly, the lackey snaps. He screams at Jijan to get his hands off his boss and throws a wild punch. But that punch was moving in slow motion for Jijan. He effortlessly ducks under the attack, making it look easy. And in one single fluid motion, he pivots and drives a vicious elbow strike right into the lackey's face. The impact is absolutely devastating. The goon's head snaps back as blood flies from his mouth, and Jijan just stands there, his expression cold as ice. Jin Wu's lackey gets sent flying, landing flat on his back, but Jijan doesn't even flinch. He just stares down the goon who's muttering insults. The lackey gets up, absolutely furious. He grabs a metal chair and yells, "You're dead, you punk." He launches the chair right at Jijan's head, but our boy has some serious moves, flipping clean over it. He sticks the landing perfectly on a desk, looking like a total pro. With zero hesitation, he springs forward, vaulting over desks to close the distance. And boom! A massive kick connects right to the jaw. That had to hurt. The goon hits the floor hard, totally knocked out and spitting up blood. Jijan just stands over him, a silent powerhouse, while the entire class watches in total shock. The students are speechless. One of them whispers what everyone's thinking. Whoa, so that video was real. But wait, this guy isn't out yet. He pushes himself up, grinding his teeth. He grabs a desk and is about to yeet it at Jijan. Just then, the classroom door slides open and a teacher storms in looking furious. What is going on in here? Fighting in my classroom? Put that down. He immediately spots Jijan on a desk and shouts, "Jijan, what are you doing up there?" Before it gets worse, Jin Wu steps in, smooth as ever. He puts an arm around his goon, saying, "Relax, it was just a joke, we weren't fighting." Then he turns to a shocked Guman. "Hey representative, I can reach him through you, right?" Jin Wu gives Jijan one last threatening smile. "I'll be seeing you again, Jijan." He even pats the confused teacher on the shoulder and says, "Go on and teach now, no need to be so nervous." Later that day, Seungmin's friend is hyping up the fight. Dude, it was like a movie. The guy couldn't even land a single hit on Jijan. Seungmin is totally bummed he missed it. "Ah, man. I can't believe I wasn't there to see it." He asks where Jijan is, and his friend explains the teacher made him stay behind. Meanwhile, in the faculty room, the teacher offers Jijan a cup of tea. He brings up how different this school is, admitting, "When your father said he was transferring you here, I was actually against it." The teacher continues, "I thought it would be tough for you to fit in, especially since you don't speak much. But I was grateful your father trusted me. The last time I saw you was 4 years ago, wasn't it? Back in middle school." Oh, so these guys know each other. The plot is cooking. We get a flashback to a younger Jijan training like a beast on a punching bag in his home gym. His dad stands with the teacher and says, "Jijan, say hello. This is my friend." A young, sweaty Jijan stops his workout and gives a deep, respectful bow. The teacher tells his dad, "It's amazing you built a gym in your house. Jijan is going to be incredibly strong." His dad suggests they catch up over drinks all night, and the teacher happily agrees. Back in the present, the teacher sighs. "You used to be so bright and full of energy. I wonder what happened." He says he's told the other staff about Jijan's situation, but warns, "You'll have to handle problems with other students on your own." He leaves him with some advice. "The reason your father trained you so hard probably wasn't just for physical strength. I believe that one day, you'll overcome that silence." Outside, it suddenly starts pouring rain. Seungmin and Gumin, our dynamic duo, use their bags to stay dry. They figure they're safe from Jin Wu now. There's no way he can mess with a powerhouse like Jijan. Suddenly, Seungmin's phone buzzes. He checks it and sees a message from Arum. The text asks, "Do you have an umbrella?" Seungmin can't believe his eyes, his face turning bright red. He tries to play it cool, texting back, "Why?" She immediately replies, "I'm at the stationery store. Can you come?" The stationery store. He takes off running, his mind racing. He carefully peeks around the corner. It's Arum, all right, waiting under an umbrella, but it's painfully obvious she isn't waiting for him. She's waiting for Jijan. Seungmin starts to panic. What should I do? Should he go get Jijan for her? But his jealousy kicks in hard. No, I can't let them share an umbrella. Then he pictures all three of them walking together under one big umbrella. Yeah, that's a good idea. With his mind made up, he sprints back to the school, yelling, "Jijan, where are you?" A while later, Arum's still waiting in the rain. "You don't have an umbrella too, Jijan?" She hears someone talking. It's Seungmin, and he's grinning like an idiot with his arm around a very confused Jijan. He tries to be all nonchalant and goes, "Han Arum, what are you doing here?" Jijan and Arum just stare at each other in the rain. The tension is so thick. Arum breaks the silence by pulling a second folded umbrella out of her bag. She holds it out to them, and in that moment, Seungmin's entire world shatters. She brought a whole separate umbrella just for Jijan, crushing his umbrella-sharing fantasy. And even though she's offering it to both of them, everyone knows who it's really for. A desperate thought fills his mind. Just for once, he wants her to look at him instead of Jijan. Filled with a new resolve, Seungmin snatches the umbrella, deciding to take control of the situation. He quickly throws an arm around Jijan and forces a smile. "Thanks, Arum. This is for us, right? We really needed one." He starts rambling, making up a plan on the spot. "We were just headed to the new game center. Sounds fun, right?" Then he puts her on the spot, turning to ask, "Why don't you join us?" "Elsewhere." Go Gumin is running through the rain. He sprints towards an underpass, but his escape is cut short. Two of Jin Wu's guys are waiting for him. He freezes in pure terror. He's walked right into a trap. One of the thugs, the same one Jijan just beat down, steps out with a nasty grin. "Welcome, representative." Trapped between them, Guman stammers, "What do you want?" Jamin with the busted nose leans in close. "You said you were the representative. I have a message I want you to give to Jijan." A few minutes later, poor Guman is getting absolutely demolished by Jamin's crew. Jamin, rocking a nose bandage from his last run-in with Jijan, gets right in his face. Now, again, he growls, "What did I say you'll do?" Guman, who is barely on this planet anymore, manages to mumble out his mission. Make Jijan participate. Not good enough for Jamin, he yanks him up by the shirt. "You're certain, right, representative?" And bam, a fist to the gut for good measure. And that's the final straw. With tears mixing with blood, Guman finally caves. "Okay, I'll talk to him." Jamin's smile is pure evil. "Do you know the price you'll have to pay? Your life, you're really gonna die." Just as Guman starts whimpering, a cool voice cuts through the rain. "That's enough. He might piss himself." And look who it is. Jin Wu, who coolly flicks out a black card with a red dog logo on it. He tosses the card right into a puddle at Guman's feet. "Give this to Jijan." Then, with a smug grin, Jin Wu delivers the invitation. Tell him, "Welcome to the Hound Dog Fighting Pits." And with that, he and his goons just leave, letting Guman sob his heart out in the alley. Rough day for that guy? Meanwhile, in a completely different vibe, Seung-min is trying way too hard at the arcade. "Here I go, Jijan," he screams, slamming the air hockey puck. But our boy Jijan, with the expression of a brick wall, just casually blocks the shot. Zero effort. Seung-min is all hyped up, shouting, "You won't be able to block it this time. Forget fighting, my gaming skills are unmatched." "Oh buddy." He keeps sneaking glances at Ah-room, desperate for her to be impressed. Spoilers, she is not. Then, with a simple flick of the wrist, Jijan sends the puck flying straight into Seung-min's goal. Whoops. Seung-min immediately tries to save face, laughing it off. "I let him have a point, kinda my style to give him a handicap." "Sure it is, my friend." Then he unleashes a flurry of shots, the puck just zipping all over the table. But with just a quick flick from Jijan, down it goes again. Seung-min is completely overwhelmed. "You can do a weird spin on the puck? Aren't you too good at this?" He sputters, already sweating. It is a complete bloodbath, folks. The game ends with a score of 13-0. Ouch. Seung-min is crushed. I lost. This callous bastard. He didn't let me get a single point. No mercy from Jijan. So he quickly changes tactics, turning to Ah-room. "Ah-room, your turn." His master plan? He's hoping this will ruin her image of Jijan. "Your rose-tinted glasses will fall right off," he thinks to himself. What a schemer. Without a word, Ah-room and Jijan take their places at the table. Ah-room serves, Jijan returns, and the game is on. And what do you know, they're actually pretty evenly matched. A rapid-fire rally kicks off. This sends Seung-min into a spiral. "Hey, that's not fair. Where did that spin from before go?" He's just losing it on the sidelines. But Jijan and Ah-room are completely tuned out, their eyes locked as the puck flies between them. Oops, did Ah-room score again? Seung-mi's just over it at this point. "I'm actually better at the claw machine," he declares, positive he can win her over with a cheap stuffed animal. He gets so close to grabbing a pink teddy bear, but the claw drops it at the last second. "Ah, so close," he whines. He tries to play it cool for Ah-room, of course. "I almost got it. I'll get it for you next time for sure." He tries again, sweating bullets, and fails again. "Ugh, this machine is rigged," he screams, punching the glass. "Real smooth, dude." Then Jijan just calmly steps up, pushes the button one time, and a prize drops out instantly. Of course he does. Seung-min just stares, mouth wide open, as Jijan pulls out not one but 2 plush bears. What a show-off. Jijan gives the pink bear to a blushing Ah-room and then just shoves the other one right into Seung-min's chest. Ah-room quietly thanks him, and you can just see Seung-min fuming. This bastard, what is he not good at, he thinks. A very good question. Totally desperate now, Seung-min announces his last resort. "Since things have gotten to this, I'll have to use my ultimate move." And his ultimate move is karaoke. Next thing we know, they're in a private room and Seung-min is warming up his golden pipes. He starts belting out a power ballad trying to serenade Ah-room, who just sits there clutching her new bear while Jijan looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. While Seung-min is having his big moment, Jijan and Ah-room are sitting pretty close and the silent tension is just... But just as Seung-min goes for the big high note, he chokes and starts coughing like crazy. "I'm ruined," he thinks. "It went down the wrong pipe." He makes a quick excuse about needing water and bolts. And just like that, Jijan and Ah-room are left alone in a super awkward silence. Ah-room, ever the modern woman, just pulls out her phone and types a message for Jijan. "Thank you for the plushie." Jijan starts to read it, but her phone suddenly starts buzzing like crazy in her hand. The caller ID flashes on the screen. It just says Dad. The second she sees that name, all the color drains from her face. She looks up at Jijan with pure, unfiltered terror in her eyes. This call sends her into a total panic. She shoves past Jijeon and bolts out the door, leaving him and a returning Seungmin completely confused. But in her rush, she runs headfirst into some big dude, spilling his coffee all over both of them. Classic setup for a rescue scene. The guy instantly goes from 0 to 100, grabbing her shoulder and yelling at her to watch it. He just keeps screaming at her about manners, and poor Arum is just standing there, trembling and covered in sticky coffee. Seungmin finally catches up, shouting her name, but he's immediately blocked by the big guy's friend. The friend mockingly asks if she's his girlfriend, and all Seungmin can do is stammer that they're just classmates, so far at least. Smooth. The main thug decides he's done talking and sneers as he pours the rest of his drink right over her head. What a jerk. Seungmin is frozen. Suddenly a hand shoots out and grabs the thug's wrist, stopping him cold. You guessed it, it's Jijeon. The thug spins around, totally stunned, before yelling, "Who the heck are you?" And before the dude can even blink, Jijeon sweeps his leg, sending the big man crashing to the floor and spilling his drink on himself. His beanie-wearing friend charges in next, screaming, "You insolent son of a, well, you know." Jijeon sidesteps him like it's nothing and drives a fist right into his gut. Oof. And down goes thug number 2, leaving Arum staring in total shock at how fast that all just happened. With the drink dripping down her face, she looks at Jijeon, who gives a cold, determined look right back. Without saying a thing, he grabs her hand and starts pulling her away, completely ignoring the thugs screaming at them to stop. And just like that, they're gone, running off together down the street. Man, what a date. Leaving Seungmin in the dust, Jijeon and Arum have their big movie moment, running out into the pouring rain hand in hand. Meanwhile, the thugs who got wrecked, well, they found the next best thing, his buddy Seungmin. And in a move that surprises absolutely no one, Seungmin immediately panics, apologizes, and bolts. He snags his backpack and the all-important teddy bear, desperately trying to catch his friends. Finally, he spots them up ahead, already halfway up a huge flight of stairs. Talk about being the third wheel. He screams after them, calling them unloyal. But nope, they're way too far to hear his whining. He can only watch as they walk together in the rain. This has to sting. Our boy's heart just shatters into a million pieces. He thinks, what the heck? They look so good together. He finally gets it. When things got real, it was the quiet guy Jijeon who stepped up, not him. The brutal truth hits him like a truck. His reality is that he's nothing more than a cowardly loser. Tears and rain mix on his face as he looks to the sky. He finally understands he's just an NPC in her story. He's completely defeated, wondering what a nobody like him was even trying to accomplish. But just as he hits rock bottom, a weak voice calls his name from a dark alley. He looks over and finds Gumin beaten to an absolute pulp and slumped on some stairs. Yikes. Seungmin rushes over, completely horrified. What in the world happened to you? Gumin just cries, saying he isn't qualified to be Jijeon's representative. Seungmin asks if Jin Wu's crew did this. Yeah, and Gumin confesses he made them a little promise, that he would personally get Jijeon to participate in their illegal pit fights. He bows his head, admitting he only did it because he was scared. We get you, pal. Seungmin sees himself in Guman. It's the cowardly loser life for them both. He helps Guman to his feet. Guman asks what they should do now. Seungmin bleakly replies, what can losers like us do? But then a light bulb goes off. He thinks if Jijeon still considers them friends despite all this, maybe Jijeon will help, he says. Meanwhile, back with Jijeon and Arum, the mood has shifted after their frantic escape through the rain. They share an intense look, and just like that, the hand-holding moment is over. Jijeon slowly lets go. Without a word, he opens the second umbrella he was carrying all this time and just hands it to her. And across the street, who should we see but Yena stopping dead in her tracks at the sight. Her friend asks what's wrong, but Yena can only stare, looking completely shocked to see Jijeon with another girl. She quickly pretends nothing is wrong, but you can tell that image is going to live in her head rent-free. Back with our main duo, Arum feels her phone buzz in her pocket as they walk. They arrive at her apartment, and she shows Jijeon a message she typed out, "This is right where I live." She offers him the umbrella, tells him to take it, and gives him a simple goodbye. Jijeon just watches her run inside, leaving him standing there alone in the rain. He seems to be thinking something over for a moment, then turns like he's going to leave. But wait, Arum comes back and taps him on the shoulder. She quickly types out a message, "Thank you so much for today," and gives him a huge happy smile that just lights up her face. Jijeon looks almost as shocked as we are that she did that, watching her disappear into the building. Arum gets to her floor, goes straight to the balcony, and looks down to watch Jijeon walking away. But her sweet moment is shattered by the flick of a lighter. A creepy-looking guy is right next to her, lighting up. He gives her a nasty sneer and scoffs, "What a load of bull, you useless witch." And just like that, the mood is ruined. Yeofurum's happy expression completely vanishes. The next day at school, Seungmin is straight up beating Gumin on the rooftop, screaming that he sold Jijeon out. Gumin just sobs, agreeing that he's worthless and doesn't deserve to be Jijeon's friend. Seungmin then turns to Jijeon, who's been watching this whole mess. "Hey Jijeon, how else should I beat him up?" He turns back to Guman and asks when the fight is happening. Saturday night at 9 in the gymnasium comes the weak reply. Sungmin gets nervous, asking what happens if he doesn't go. Guman just wails, "They'll kill me." With his back turned, the two pause for a moment. Is he taking the bait? Nope. More waterworks then. I'm really gonna die. Guman cries even louder. Without saying another word, Jijan turns and just walks away, disappearing into the darkness. Left alone, the two losers wonder if he'll actually show up, recalling the ice-cold look on his face. Guman is convinced he's a dead man. Sungmin just tells him he should have cried more convincingly. What a friend. And so we cut to Saturday night. The school is looking extra spooky and ominous. Inside the gym, an actual underground fight club is in full swing. These kids are trading some serious blows. The crowd is made up of other students, and they are absolutely roaring with excitement. Guman and Sungmin are just standing there, stunned. Guman mutters, "Is this even a school anymore?" The energy is insane, and they can only stand there and wonder, is Jijan actually going to show up? That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.